Hello, sports fan. This is Stephen Hill for Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering the top 10 NFL teams going into Week 11. Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you go ahead and subscribe right now to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates each and every time we have breakdowns here on Sports Choice Plus. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Go ahead and hit it, destroy it, smash it right there, and let's get right into the action. Coming into this week, we saw a lot of changes in the top 10. When you're looking at the top 10 teams in the NFL, it was a lot of movement. Some teams played well. Some teams put together solid pieces of quarters, and it looked magnificent. Some didn't. So you have a lot of changes in the top 10, and I'm going to start with the three teams that are no longer in my top 10. I'm going to start with the Buffalo Bills because the Buffalo Bills not only had a heart-wrenching loss to the Cardinals, but you're looking just at how that team literally went down late game. Josh Allen did not get the job done late. He didn't help the offense. I know he had the big touchdown to Stephon Diggs, but he did not get the job done late in the third and fourth quarter where they needed a score. And, I expect a lot more out of him. That defense for the Bills, they should have stepped up and stopped the Cardinals on a couple of plays, and they did not, which led to their fall out of the top 10. Seattle Seahawks. That defense has let Russell Wilson down yet again. You got to keep in mind DK Metcalf, Lockett, and company. They didn't have Carson last week. It's so much that they're putting on Russ's shoulders that it's almost impossible, and it's kind of unfair to put this all on his back because if he doesn't score every single play, they probably don't have a chance to win a lot of these games. In Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens offense is slowly deteriorating. It's going downhill fast. And I don't know at this point if it's the OC. I don't know if it's Lamar's play. A lot of these plays, it looks like Lamar is afraid to throw the football into certain coverages. And as a quarterback, sometimes you have to throw your wide receivers open. So these three teams specifically fell out the top 10. So it's a lot of movement up in the top 10. I'm going to start at number 10, the Las Vegas Raiders. When I look at the big day they had on the ground and how they were able to get that big victory, you're looking at, okay, what's the next step for the Raiders? They have to be consistent. Each and every week we want to see you do well. Jacobs had a great day, as we know he can be one of the best running backs in the NFL. He gets a lot of volume carries, and once he carries the ball throughout the football game, he gets a feel for the game, and he begins to play better as the game goes on. That massive offensive line for the Raiders does a great job when they get a chance to run the football throughout the game, and they wear down the defense. They make sure that they're hitting their opponents every chance they get. And by the fourth quarter, guys that really don't want to hit, you can tell by the fourth quarter because they're checking out mentally and they're letting plays go past them. But shout out to the Las Vegas Raiders. They're really a young football team that's ahead of their time right now, that's really making strides in the top 10. Coming in number 9. With the big day that they had against the Tennessee Titans, the Indianapolis Colts are back inside the top 10. They not only had a special teams play made a big swing for them, but they defeated a team that is deemed to be possibly a winner of the AFC South. You're looking at just how they played that football game. It was basically everybody's helping, and when you're looking at the offense making plays, chipping in, the defense making plays, chipping in, and the special teams coming up with the timely plays that turn the momentum of the whole game. And I like where this franchise is going. I want to see them be a little bit more consistent as well. I want to see Phillip Rivers play a little bit better at the quarterback position. They have some weapons in Indianapolis. They have to get them the ball in space so they can make more moves and more plays during the football game. Coming in at number 8, the Miami Dolphins, winners of the last 5 in a row. They're at 6-3. Their win against the Chargers was very impressive. Tua did not have to do a lot. Coach Flores did not give him a lot that he had to do, but the defense showed up. Special teams showed up, gave him great field position on a couple of punts. And you're looking also at this team slowly starting to run the football a little bit better each and every week. They're going to become a juggernaut soon, and they're sniffing on the heels of the Buffalo Bills. A lot of people did not expect the Miami Dolphins to be in any title contention or any playoff contention. They're slowly coming into their own at number 8. Number 7, the Packers have fallen a little bit. You're looking at them being 7-2, but they had trouble stopping the run of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The team week to week, you don't know which Packers team you're going to get, and that's the scary part of this. When it's all said and done, where's this team going to end up? I know they're possibly going to make the playoffs, but are they going to be a first round and out kind of team? Are they going to make it to the NFC Championship game? What kind of team are we going to get? By this time, you should see teams starting to play and play extremely well on offense and defense because they've had a couple of weeks to catch up. They've had a couple of weeks to be their training camp, which was live games, so they should be playing a little bit better. Yes, they've had injuries, but they've had time to get that together and play at a better pace. And Aaron Rodgers, he had a pretty good day against Jacksonville, but they still did not beat the Jaguars as they should have handedly. Coming in at number 6, this is the coming out party for Kyler Murray. D-Hop, we know what D-Hop can do with that amazing catch that he had that won the football game, basically. Kyler Murray is basically storming all the MVP parades, all the conversations for MVPs. You know what he can do with his legs. You see him what he can do with his arms. He has the Cardinals in a position where they can not only challenge for a spot in the NFC, but they could possibly win a playoff spot at that point. And you're looking just at where this team is going to be in a couple of years with him as the quarterback, with D-Hop at the wide receiver position and a couple of weapons around him. I like where they are. That's where they're at number 6, and they're playing tremendously with that win against the Bills. Even though it was late, they still won the football game. You can say whatever you want to say. They won the game. They beat the Bills. Coming in at number 5, the LA Rams. You're looking at what they're doing. The defense was big versus Seattle. They stopped Russell Wilson from getting started late in the football game, and they came up with timely stops, and they made sure that not only the Rams offense had a cushion, but they stopped it to where Russell couldn't do anything. You had blitzing coming from everywhere. Jalen Ramsey picks up the big assignment, and he literally covers DK Metcalf. And he stride for stride, he's right there with him. Even though DK Metcalf is a physical freak, he's doing everything he can to make sure DK is not catching the ball. He's moving side to side on the different parts of the field, and he's taking it personal to guard him. That's the kind of things I like to see from a team that's in the top 10, and that's why the Rams. They have a pretty good defense. The offense is starting to catch up a little bit and get some more production. I like them at number 5. Coming in at number 4, Tampa Bay at 7-3. You're looking at the win they had against the Panthers. They beat them up towards the back end of that game pretty much. You saw Tom Brady miss a couple of throws in that football game, but the offense still accounted for 544 yards. 98 yards of that was from that run in the quarter. But you got to think, Tom Brady in this offense is slowly starting to put together pretty good matchups against all these different teams. You're looking at them incorporating Antonio Brown into things. You're looking at Gronk getting put into things. You're looking at Chris Godwin, and then you're also looking at Mike Evans. You're looking at Brayton, I believe. So you have so many different mouths you have to feed. Tom is effectively giving somebody 2 catches, 3 catches, 4 catches, 5 catches, and he's moving the train right along. They're winning football games. So they have an opportunity to possibly catch the Saints, because when Drew Brees is out, you never know what comes of that. So, Tampa has to keep winning games. They want to make sure they're keeping track. So if something happens, they are available to catch up with the Saints. You're looking at number 3. Speaking of the Saints. Drew Brees possibly could be out with a couple of weeks from a fractured rib, collapsed lung. You don't know how long he's going to be out. Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, you have to step up. This is your time. You have Jameis Winston. You have Taysom Hill. You have a lot of guys that are on that team that can still play. So Drew Brees may be down, but you still have talented weapons around you. As long as these guys are not turning over the football, I'm confident in what they can do on the ground with Alvin Kamara, and I'm also confident what Michael Thomas can do. Get these guys the ball in space. Sean Payton, get out there, make these plays to where they can get open, and I'm guaranteeing you, as long as you give them 3 or 4 wins and they can keep keep Tom Brady and Tampa Bay off their heels a little bit, come playoff time, you could get Drew Brees back, or a little bit before then, and you could possibly make a step towards the playoffs and try to win a Super Bowl. They got a Super Bowl team. I think they're legit. The way that they beat the Bucs, pretty legit. Coming in at number 2, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers took care of business against the Bengals. Even though Joe Burrow and company did not quit, they still played a good game. The Steelers still shut them down in so many different areas, and the defense, they made timely plays, which I liked a lot. I liked a lot from that team. In Pittsburgh, Big Ben, he's hitting his wide receivers. You see Connor starting to run the ball a little bit better. They're starting to get better on the offensive line, starting to get more healthier in general. They don't have a bye week, which is kind of, I know they had their bye week earlier in the year, but I think late in the season, you're going to see a little bit of fatigue. I think they may lose 1 or 2 games, but they're still going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're still going to make the playoffs. They're still going to put together an amazing body of work, and I think that's what's keeping them at number 2. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes and company. They were on a bye this week. They have a big game against the Las Vegas Raiders coming up this week. I think it's going to be a lot of movement that possibly could be made if these teams don't win this week. But I think the Chiefs are pretty good. Where they're sitting in the bird cat seat, I think this is a revenge game. Andy Reid is going to have these guys going and ready. And a thing about Coach Andy Reid, he rarely loses to a team twice, especially when he comes off of a bye week, where he has that extra week to prepare. Las Vegas is really going to have to come with their A game because Andy Reid is going to have them ready to go. So all you NFL fans, tell me what you think of my list in the comment section. Go ahead and grade my list for this week. Thank you so very much for definitely checking us out. Make sure you check out the archive. Thank you so very much, and we'll see you on the next one.